Of all the changes coming to Formula 1 for 2021, the most important one could be nothing to do with the cars at all. For years, F1's financial model has been flawed in terms of how prize money is distributed amongst the teams. This is a bigger cause of the split in competitiveness in the field, what we so often refer to as Class A and Class B, than any set of rules that have been designed since certain teams started picking up a disproportionate amount of F1's cash compared to their rivals. While we wait for F1's chiefs to come up with a better system for 2021 onwards, let's take a look at how it works right now and why it causes so many problems. F1 reserves a certain percentage of its annual revenues for team payouts, which in recent years has been close to $1 billion. The first step of this process is simple. Each team that has finished in the top 10 in the Constructors' Championship for 2 of the past 3 seasons is entitled to what's known as a Column 1 payment. This is an equal amount paid out to each team that is eligible. With only 10 teams on the grid at the moment, that means you receive this money just by competing in 2 of the previous 3 seasons. The most recent team to have to wait for this money to kick in was Haas, which joined the grid in 2016 and did not receive a Column 1 payment until it completed 2 seasons in F1. The American outfit then challenged the decision for Racing Point to receive this money after it acquired the assets of Force India in 2018, as Racing Point was considered a new team rather than just a set of new owners for the same entity. Every other team on the grid agreed to Racing Point receiving this payment, but Haas had only agreed originally when it thought the new owners were taking over Force India rather than buying its assets and setting up something new. The next stage of payments handed out follows sensible logic. Teams are paid based on their performance in the previous year's championship, with the Constructors' Champion receiving the most and the team at the bottom of the table getting the least. That all sounds quite sensible, doesn't it? And to look at our piles of money at this stage, there's not much you can argue with. Everyone gets a reasonable share, and those doing the best job are rewarded accordingly. But so far, we've only distributed roughly 2/3 of the total pot, and it's how the remaining money is given out that causes the real problems. First up, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull and McLaren all receive an additional payment known as a Constructors' Championship Bonus, or CCB. These were negotiated when Bernie Ecclestone was in the process of getting F1's biggest teams to commit to long-term deals that would take them to the end of 2020. There's a slight adjustment in these payments each year based on performance, although with Mercedes winning the championship every year and McLaren going through a barren spell, only the Red Bull and Ferrari payments have fluctuated recently. But the extra deals don't stop there and will save the biggest one until the end. Red Bull picks up another payment which was agreed with Ecclestone as an acknowledgement of it being the first team to make a new long-term commitment to F1 earlier this decade. Mercedes wanted a piece of that action as well, and it came to an arrangement that would enable it to unlock an extra payment of its own if it could win back-to-back World Championships, which it duly managed in 2014 and 15. And every year since. At the other end of the grid, Williams picks up what is known as a heritage payment, which at $10 million is smaller than the other amounts being dished out, but can make a difference, meaning the team can receive more money than some of its rivals, even when it is at the bottom of the pile competitively. And now for the biggest individual payout of the lot, Ferrari's long-standing team payment, which is bigger than the Column 2 amount given to whoever wins the championship. This controversial deal was made in recognition of Ferrari's history in F1, having competed in every year since the formation of the World Championship in 1950. But it also means Ferrari regularly takes home the most cash from F1, close to 1/5 of the total pot, despite not having won championship for more than a decade. The team with the smallest payout picks up roughly 25% of what Ferrari receives. Compare that to football's Premier League, which has twice as many teams, where the bottom team collects roughly 60% of the amount paid out to the highest earner. When you take a step back and look at how the money shakes out, is it any wonder F1 fans have had to put up with a 2-tier F1 in recent years? Or to put a more positive spin on it, imagine how competitive F1 could be if the hard-working midfield teams got a fairer share of the money. Let's hope change really is coming for 2021.